What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, newly crowned WBC undefeated two-time heavyweight world champion Tyson the Gypsy King Fury once again responds to all the allegations and all the talk of him having tampered with gloves and padding removed in the knuckle area in his highly anticipated rematch with then undefeated WBC reigning world champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Tyson Fury now responds once again, now stating that Deontay Wilder needs to blame his team and blame the boxing commission for allowing him to wear the gloves. He says that it's not his fault that the boxing commission allowed me to wear these gloves. It's not his fault that his team didn't identify the gloves. And he says, and he laughs as well at putting a dent in Deontay Wilder, the side of his left side of his skull, right? Claiming that the gloves were legal, so it's just his power. You had a 19-stone man hitting you in the same spot over and over, and it caused the dent. So now Tyson Fury, along with a couple other friends, find it humorous that Deontay Wilder suffered such injuries, and they think it's flat out rubbish that he's claiming that the gloves, or the boxing world is claiming that, you know, they were tampered gloves. And Marcellus Wilder, Deontay Wilder's brother, who is also a professional boxer, came out and stated that, you know, talked about the injuries that his brother Deontay Wilder suffered, and said that it had to be, you know, a blunt object, not just a padded glove, that caused the injuries, that forced Deontay Wilder to sustain such injuries, right? And Tyson Fury and his team are laughing, right, at this. They find it humorous. And he's saying that blame the boxing commission for allowing me to wear these gloves. Blame your team for not identifying the gloves. Wow. That's an omission, again, by subtraction, right? That's letting you know that Tyson Fury know that the gloves weren't on the up and up. But the boxing commission approves of these pairs of gloves. So Tyson Fury is looking at it from this standpoint. They allowed me to wear them. It's not my fault. Somebody should have caught it. Somebody should have addressed it. The thing about this all to me is I feel like everybody within the sport of boxing, if you're a professional boxer, if you're a trainer, a manager, promoter, commission, referee, anybody, judge, I think that everybody needs to do their due diligence, sanction bodies, WBC, IBF, WBO, WBA, because the sport of boxing is already dangerous enough, right? We see the situation with American undefeated heavyweight contender Jarrell Big Baby Miller failing multiple tests in his the first time in June, ahead of his June 1st showdown with unified British heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua, and then making his comeback off his suspension, failing once again. We see multiple fighters within the sport failing PED tests, testing positive for PED tests. Then we got guys testing positive for PED tests, and then VADA or UCAD, they come back and they say they make a mistake. So who truly knows what took place? These guys shouldn't be having added advantages. I think that the rules need to be a lot more stricter. I think it needs to be a lot more airtight. I think that the glove situation needs to be a standard glove that everybody should use as far as padding, because especially when you're dealing with the heavyweight division, guys over 200 pounds, right? Trading heavy leather, right? The sport is already dangerous enough. We see a lot of these boxers, after their careers are over, you know, boxers can't talk, they're punch drunk, you know, they have memory loss, right? If these things can be avoided, then we need to take every precaution possible to avoid these things. So there shouldn't be gloves that's banned, but you could go to another brand and have them make their version of a glove that's banned, right? If the MX gloves, Everlast gloves are not allowed to be used in the UK, in Germany, and in the United States, then you should not be able to go to another brand like Pathin and ask them to make a MX version of their gloves to go around the system. You shouldn't want to do that, right? This just goes to show that they don't have the fighter's best interest at heart, in my opinion. And if you're a boxer, you should stand up, because it's very well could be you. You could be Miguel Cotto. You could be, in this case, Deontay Wilder. You could be, in the case we saw multiple other fighters that suffered injuries, and guys were tampering with gloves, tampering with hand wraps, things of that nature, right? It could very well easily be you. So everybody needs to stand up, because, like we say, one punch in the sport of boxing could change your life forever. And if that's the case and everybody stands by that, then we should always err on the side of caution. And so with that said, Tyson Fury is blaming the Boxing Commission and Deontay Wilder's team for allowing him to wear these gloves. And pretty much saying, why blame me if they allow me to do it? It's not my fault. So, and then the laugh at the injuries Deontay Wilder sustained in the fight shows a lack of integrity on my part, on his part, in my opinion, should I say. Because you claim that you want both guys to get back home healthy and safe to their families after the fights. It's just business. But then when somebody sustains injuries and they bring an awareness to it, then you laugh at that. And I understand Tyson Fury is the other competitor in this situation. And, he's coming across as if he's saying to the boxing world that, it was legal, so it's not my fault. But you can clearly see there's no padding in the knuckle area. So Deontay Wilder suffered some severe injuries in this fight. And the next go round, I'm almost certain that these gloves won't be allowed. There'll be stricter rules, and everybody will be paying close attention to what's taking place. The first fight, we saw a flappy left glove. Second fight, we see the padding is not in the knuckle area. And, for his team to say that he's just being a sore loser, Tyson Fury's team, and laughing at Deontay Wilder and laughing at the injuries he sustained, is not a good thing when you're dealing with the sport of boxing, in my opinion. And so he's blaming the Boxing Commission, and we saw the WBC come out, Mauricio Suleiman, and defend Tyson Fury immediately. And then we see he had vested interest in Paffin Sports because he certifies Paffin Sports. He co-signs Paffin Sports. So that is his product as well. Oddly enough, Deontay Wilder was the WBC champion. And it seems like Mauricio Suleiman had a side he was taking. Clearly, he came out to defend Tyson Fury immediately and standing by the gloves because those are his brand gloves. So these are Mexican-style Paffin gloves, which is Paffin's version of MX, which are illegal, to say the least. But I guess since you go from Everlast to Paffin and you change the name, then it makes it legal. And the Boxing Commission signs off on it. Like I said, we saw in Marcos Maidana-Floyd Mayweather fight, you see the Marcos Maidana gloves. They have zero padding. They look worn out. They look old. They look like they've been used multiple times. And the Boxing Commission was going to sign off and allow Marcos Maidana to wear these gloves until Floyd Mayweather came out and said that these gloves are not going to be allowed to be used, or I will pull out the fight. He eventually had to pay Marcos Maidana because the Boxing Commission signed off on those gloves and they approved of them. So Floyd Mayweather had to pay Marcos Maidana, right? If the Boxing Commission didn't approve of them, he wouldn't have had to pay him. But since they approved of them, then he was on the hook and he had to pay Marcos Maidana or just pull out the fight altogether. So with that said, we see that the Boxing Commission, there are ways to get around it. And there should be no ways to get around any of this. It should be airtight because we're dealing with fighters' safety, right? Last year, we lost about 3-4 fighters of note. So, there needs to be more stricter rules. I think that there needs to be a standard glove that you should be wearing. Now, you can wear your Grant brand. You can wear Everlast. You can wear Rival. You can wear Paffin. You can wear whatever, Adidas, whatever brand you so choose. But it needs to be a certain regulation, not just weight, right? It should be a certain amount of padding in the knuckle area, not just, it got to be 10 ounces. So 10 ounces, you put it on the scale, all 8 ounces could be in the wrist area and the thumb area, and then you have no padding in the knuckle area. But as long as it's make weight, it's okay. But you're punching somebody with the knuckle area. The knuckle area should be the most padded. You understand? Not just, hey, the gloves got to be 8 ounces or your gloves got to be 10 ounces. You put them on the scale and you distributing the weight when you're dealing with horsehair in different areas of the glove just so it makes weight. That should not be allowed. It should be a certain amount of inches or thickness in the knuckle area that you have to pass to be approved, period. So Tyson Fury's blaming the boxing commission, and we must blame the boxing commission because they approved of these gloves. It got past them. So let's see how this all plays out. But I'm certain in a rematch, won't play out that way in a trilogy match, right? And if anybody is in agreement with this and saying that, well, it has nothing to do with the gloves or approve of the gloves, then you should be in agreement that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury should be able to switch gloves. Deontay Wilder wears the gloves that Tyson Fury wore in the fight, same gloves, and Tyson Fury wear the gloves that Deontay Wilder wore in the fight, same gloves. Would anybody approve? Now, let this sink in. Ask yourself this. Would you approve of Deontay Wilder? 90% knockout rate. Knocked out, knocked down every opponent he's ever faced. Hardest puncher in the history of sport of boxing, arguably. Would you approve of him wearing these gloves with no padding in the knuckle area? If you're a boxer, if you're a fan, if you're a promoter, if you're a manager, if you're a sanctioned body, if you're a boxing commission, would you approve of Deontay Wilder to wear these gloves in action against you or your fighter, your family member, or anybody else? That's what we need to ask ourselves. Sometimes you got to put yourself in somebody else's shoes to understand where they're coming from. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.